What's up, guys? So the next video I will be doing on Hunter x Hunter will be episode by episode reviews of Hunter x Hunter from the latest episode released. That is right. I have come to the end of the Hunter x Hunter anime series, and that's right. I've picked it up roughly 2 to 3 weeks ago from episode 1 from scratch, and I have caught up to date. And it was such a great anime series. It's obviously bittersweet. I've caught up, so there's no more to watch. But at the same time, I'm like happy. I mean, it was hard work at times watching so many episodes. And so, now I can just relax because I now I have a life. Okay, this is just too much. It's too nerdy, too much of a loser just sitting there watching these episodes all the time. So in a way, I'm happy. On the other half, it's like, oh man, it's kind of over in a way. But yeah, without further ado, this is going to be a general summary and review and discussion and speculation slash future predictions on what I've read since my last sort of big talk on the series. And the last one was way back from episode. It was a video discussion of Hunter x Hunter from episode 1 to 66. This one is going to be from episode 1 to episode 88, which is the one I just finished. So essentially, yeah, I watched around 20 to 30 episodes since my last video. So this is going to be the last sort of generalized spiel on it before I start doing the episode by episode reviews. Again, if I have the time. There hasn't been a huge sort of attention from my viewers to doing these videos for Hunter x Hunter. So, I mean, with school coming up in time, I mean, I might not have the time. But yes, if you guys are wondering, I've been watching them for free on a website on the internet. Fully legal, crunchyroll.com. And so, the latest, first off, if you don't know, there are two anime series. One was made back in like 1990 something, back in the day, and it went up to episode 66. I'm watching the new version, which is pretty much updated animations. The characters look a lot better, and that was made starting 2011, I believe. And so it's a lot better, and now it is up to around roughly episode 100. So this one's going to be up until episode 88, and I'm going to be discussing it. Again, it's very bittersweet, and so this will be pretty much my talk on simply the Chimera Ant Arc. The Greed Island arc, I already did a spiel on that.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Casey.
Hold up. Sorry guys, my computer bugged out, so I had to pause the video recording real quick. So back to what I was saying, Greed Island arc, I've done a spiel on that already. This is going to be my thoughts and yada 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 on the Chimera Ant arc. So it's obviously not done yet. And first off, before I get into that, Hunter x Hunter has been going on for a while. I mean, I'm blown away. It's been going on for years, and it's still going. And I'm surprised it's only at 300 chapters. I mean, when you compare that to Naruto, One Piece, very short, and yet this thing has been going on for years, and it's still very short. And I just found out that it's on a hiatus since the end of last year, 2012, and now it's coming to the close of 2013, kinda. And it still hasn't restarted up, so I'm kind of confused about that. I really wanted to, but I will keep up with the chapters once the episodes run out. And so it's sad, but there's still a lot more to read, and it's very interesting, and at the same time it's bittersweet. And it's kind of like, I don't know why, but I'm concerned with the author. Maybe he just wants a break. I mean, he did Yu Yu Hakusho. And I mean, if anyone watches D. Grayman, it's kind of like the same thing. The author's constantly been having huge hiatuses periodically because of illness, which I'm concerned about. maybe he won't be able to finish the manga before he dies. Who knows? I shouldn't be so selfish to put the manga before his life, but yeah, I wish them the best. Anyhow, to keep it short, I love the Chimera Ant Arc a lot more than the Greed Island Arc in many ways. Some ways not as much, but for the most part, a lot more. Why? Because this is a hardcore arc. The villains are definitely formidable. Like, their strategy for gaining strength is just tremendous. By the way, spoiler alert, first and final. So, tremendous. We see many characters here who have tremendous power levels beyond what we've ever seen before in the series. And we keep getting more who are even stronger consistently. And it's just blowing my mind, and that's what I want. I didn't always get that in the Greed Island arc. I mean, it was very plateaued throughout. It was just like, yeah, they're just training, no real villains. These people aren't really that strong, blah, blah, blah. And they even beat the villain of the Greed Island arc, the Bombers, with a sort of strategy trick rather than through just training and beating them through fighting capabilities. And here we see what I like about manga series. Them growing in strength, in power level to beat them, sort of like the DBZ style, not some sort of strategy trick. And also we see consistently higher power level creatures evolving and being introduced in the series. First we see Kaido, who's ridiculous in strength. Ridiculous. And you can see like, wow, he's very, very strong. I can understand why he found Jing Frixes. It makes sense. I obviously pronounced his name wrong, but it's like Frixes or something like that. Then we see freaking, we see the Chimera Ants. Boom! Ridiculous strength. Just from absorbing all these natural organisms' powers and having ridiculous levels of reproduction rates. And so it's like a class A level danger, because they're so lucky to find them so early on. If they had been like years late, the Chimera Ants would have wiped out the human species. Why? Because if they had, grown, like if you've read the series and you know the scheme, basically, if they had grown and hatched hundreds of kings and then hundreds of queens and gotten hundreds of nests and feasted and exponentially grown in human strength and other strength, they would have been unstoppable. They would have learned Nen, developed it for years, and eradicated the human species, and then moved on to other species and eventually killed the entire planet. But it's definitely a huge formidable foe that I really like, and it's so much better than the freaking retarded stuff you see in the Greed Island arc, where it's very plateaued and flatlined, and I really like that, and it's just awesome. And then the best thing is that like even the soldier troops of the Chimera Ant Arc are ridiculously strong, capable of taking out pro hunters. Maybe not pro hunters, but hunters. And you see that quite often. And it just shows that like, first off, hunters are like ridiculously strong. Like, you have to be like 1 in 10,000 to be able to just apply, and then 1 in a million to make it out of the exam with a pass. And so it's ridiculous, because I mean, these foot soldiers are able to take out these people, and it's simply because they've incorporated all these traits from all the natural organisms, including just plain average humans. And then you see another boost in power level. You see the Royal Guard, and you see squadron leaders developing Nen abilities, and then the Royal Guard capable of taking out Kaido. And then you see the freaking 3 people dispatched by the Hunter Association coming in to exterminate their species, and it's just another power jump that's ridiculous. And then you see Killua and Gon, who have grown in so much strength, being just smoked out and underclassed tremendously. Then you see these 3 Hunter Association people's disciples. Again, ridiculous strength level, and it's just constantly more characters who have been introduced with more strength. And then I haven't gotten to a point yet, but I'm assuming the King's strength might be stronger than all 3 of these Hunter people combined. And this guy has stated that if that is the case, then no Hunter will be able to beat these people, because I mean, I'm assuming these are the strongest of the Hunter Association, possibly, I wouldn't say the strongest of the entire world, but one of the strongest in the entire world. So if they can't beat the Hunter, they can't beat these Chimera Ants, who knows who can. And so it's just a very good series because of the exponential reproduction rate of these Chimera Ants and the potent danger that they hold. And it just shows very much danger, and just how much luck was involved that they were able to detect these ants so early on, before they had hatched multiple kings and queens with their own nets and kingdoms. So I'm very curious to see what the king is like. Obviously he's ridiculous in power level, but I really want to see even greater power levels introduced from new characters in the future. And obviously we will see that, but again, it's kind of like, how far can we go? It's kind of like DBZ. We will eventually hit some sort of infinite cap where you're like God and you're all powerful, and there's nowhere higher than that, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of the series, and then it has to end. It's kind of like DBGT, which is non-canon, so I won't get into that. But back to Hunter x Hunter, ridiculous. Thank you Crunchyroll for exposing me to the series. Very fun series. A rating. That's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the anime series now. I'm on episode 88, about 4 episodes left. QQ pretty much is a current internet colloquium for crying. And so yeah, last thing to say is, it kind of leaves the Phantom Troop in the dust. I mean, Kurapika pretty much got the Phantom Troop's leader, a leader who is able to pretty much handle 2 Killua's dad and grandpa, and have ridiculous sort of power stealing abilities and all these abilities. Kurapika was able to do it. Granted, he used a lot of trickery to do so. So it kind of leaves all those power levels in the dust. And it seems like even Hisoka, who seems so dark and evil, and Killua's older brother, they have all been almost seemingly left in the dust in power levels compared to these new characters. So I really don't know. I'm kind of concerned about them. I'm hoping they can get a power boost once they're introduced. And same with Leorio and Kurapika, mainly Leorio. I really kind of miss him as a character, and I thought he'd be a main character with Kurapika, but it's not the case. It seems like Killua and Gon are the main characters pretty much. And so hopefully we will see more of them. I did see a little panel gag with Leorio and Kurapika saying, when will we be returning, in like a title page, but I kind of miss them, and I hope they'll return. See you guys later, peace, and I'm roughly around chapter 220 in the manga, so about 80 chapters left to go. Again, very sad QQ, but I've been, for the most part, reading the anime, occasionally keeping along with the manga, but not really that much. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. Like, rate, and as always, subscribe. It's completely free. Just hit the button down below. Peace. See you in the next video if you're subscribed.